have been asked whether, in the years to come, it will be possible to kill 40 million American people in the 20 largest American towns by the use of atomic bombs in a single night. I am afraid that the answer to that question is yes.
Who was J. Robert Oppenheimer? An American theoretical physicist and a Harvard University alumnus, J. Robert Oppenheimer served as a physics professor at the University of California, Berkeley. Since the 1930s, Oppenheimer was active as a promoter of science, particularly theoretical physics, all over America. Even before gaining prominence in the field of nuclear weapons, Oppenheimer had already made significant achievements such as the Born-Oppenheimer approximation, which he and Max Born proposed in 1927. In layperson terms, the approximation states that the wave movements of an atom's nuclei and electrons can be treated separately, as nuclei are heavier than electrons. The Oppenheimer true story can also be understood from his personal and political life. Even though Oppenheimer contributed to several political causes throughout his life, the man was generally uninformed about world affairs and hardly ever read the newspaper. Born into a Jewish family, Oppenheimer also faced anti-Semitism during his tenure at Berkeley. American Prometheus recounts an incident when he tried to get his student Bob Serber an academic position, but Oppenheimer's superior Raymond Berg rejected the offer as he felt that one Jew in the department was enough. The Stanford University paper titled Oppenheimer's Dilemma adds that despite being Jewish, he was interested in non-Western religions and philosophy. The real story behind the atomic bomb. A large chunk of the Oppenheimer true story has to do with the development of the atomic bomb. The origins can be traced to 1942, when President Franklin D. Roosevelt approved a program to develop the atomic bomb as the ultimate weapon for America during World War II. Oppenheimer got involved in the program in May 1942, when he was called upon by the National Defense Research Committee to study neutron chain reactions in the proposed bomb. Oppenheimer's research relied on his own students, including Serber, plus European scientists. By June 1942, this program gave way to the U.S. Army's plan to develop the atomic bomb, officially known as the Manhattan Project. With the Army setting up a laboratory at Los Alamos in New Mexico, Oppenheimer served as its director. His contributions here included a lot of theoretical work to convert the bomb into a practical weapon that can be dropped from an airplane and explode on specific targets. Oppenheimer and his team's efforts bore fruit with the Trinity test that was conducted at Alamogordo, New Mexico, on July 16, 1945. The test involved the successful detonation of a plutonium device called the Gadget. The bomb design and test conditions would give way to the atomic bombs Fat Boy and Little Boy that were detonated over Japan's Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Why was it called the Manhattan Project? The Oppenheimer true story has a lot to do about the scientists' time in New Mexico, where most of the Manhattan Project's operations took place. The project was named so for its formative stages in New York City's borough of Manhattan. In a 2006 feature in the New York Times, historian Robert S. Norris pointed toward a 28-storied mixed-use building called 270 Broadway. In the 1940s, this building was used by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers as its North Atlantic Division for building ports and fields. When the Corps was assigned the task of building an atomic bomb, the project found its headquarters in the same structure. This Manhattan office oversaw the nascent stages of atomic research, along with acquiring materials. Another major role of the 18th floor office was the construction of whole nuclear cities for testing in Tennessee, New Mexico, and Washington State. Norris adds that the project was initially named Laboratory for the Development of Substitute Materials, but Program Director Major General Leslie Groves felt such a name would invite unwanted attention. As Norris said, Groves was nuts about not attracting attention. Therefore, the name Manhattan Engineer District was adopted for the multi-territorial project. In time, this came to be known as the Manhattan Project.
think the only hope for our future safety must lie in a collaboration based on confidence and good faith with the other peoples of the world. Few people laughed. Few people cried. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.